Welcome to Business Reporter's Future of Insurance campaign. I'm Rachel Hicks. Bypassing intermediaries is at the heart of any insurtech company's USP, which puts an enormous amount of pressure on insurance brokers. If they rely only on legacy tools, quotes will take them forever. Communication with clients will be clunky, and data and team efforts will often be duplicated. How much of their value chain lends itself readily to digitalisation? And can these technologies turn a battle they were set to lose into a triumph? This is what we're going to discuss with Andy Fairchild, CEO of agency and management software provider Applied Systems. Insurance brokers are traditionally at the heart of complex systems. So can you give us an idea of how much data and information they need to share with and collect from stakeholders?
Insurance is probably one of the most data-rich industries globally. So it's crucial for insurance brokers to use that in three key ways for me. Firstly is to use the data to get close to customers, make closer sort of underwriting, pricing decisions for their customers. Secondly, is to use use the links that they have to insurance providers, insurance companies, so that they can get some real-time risk acceptance, real-time risk pricing with their insurers to give comparative quotes to their end customer. And then thirdly, to link with third-party databases to make better informed pricing and risk acceptance decisions. And if insurance brokers can add that kind of data and digital capability to what is sort of fundamentally still a people and advice-led industry, that will define the winning insurance brokers of the future.
The pandemic has shaken all industries, and the insurance sector has had to respond quickly to many challenges. What's been your experience?
Yeah, well, I mean, at Applied, we responded kind of almost overnight. We moved everybody to remote working overnight. But importantly, what we also did is we moved all of our customers to remote working as well very quickly. So moving those customers to access their data via the cloud, to provide that information to continue their kind of advice-led proposition is vitally important. And then also enabling end customers to do some of their own sort of servicing, some self-servicing that they would expect. We've seen that grow. So enabling ourselves firstly, then enabling our customers, and then sort of a more digitally enabled proposition for end customers has been a real sort of byproduct really for the insurance industry as part of the pandemic.
So with the pandemic and all the challenges discussed, how has the industry responded? And have you experienced any dramatic changes in the debate?
You know, I wouldn't suggest we've seen dramatic changes. We've seen an acceleration of changes that were taking place anyway. And those changes are around putting more and more power into customers' hands so that they can self-service where appropriate, putting data and knowledge into the hands of account execs and account brokers who are close to their customers to give them the ability to advise them better, give them links to better products and insurers and better pricing capability. All of those were key digital trends in our industry that were just accelerated almost overnight as the pandemic kind of took hold.
So what is propelling change and the adoption of technology in the industry?
The availability of data really is at the heart of what we're doing here, and that data, firstly, provided by customers to enable us to get good quality risk understanding, risk acceptance and pricing, but also to augment that with other data sources so that we can enrich our knowledge of the end customer and in turn provide a much more tailored advice-led proposition to the end customer, backed up by better risk acceptance and pricing from the insurers. So that's the kind of ecosystem that the insurance broker sits right at the heart of.
So what makes a broker truly digital?
Remote access to their data, ability to communicate remotely with their end customers, telephone, chatbots, messaging, those kind of things, just absolutely critical. The ability to deliver documentation digitally, the ability for customers to do things like report claims and the like digitally, or all of those are critical and emerging new workflows and processes for our industry that augment the personal advice that the industry has always been built on.
So how is COVID going to affect the way that brokers adopt technology now and into the future?
I think for everybody, COVID has probably meant that geography just matters a little less. I think we've all realised that, the personal advice nature of insurance brokers has always been built on the proximity to customers, right? But that proximity, I think we've learnt, doesn't have to be sort of geographically based. It can be tech enabled. Lots of us have spent a lot of our time on screens and trying to build personal relationships and personal advice relationships on relationships that are built on screens. That is new for us all. That's a new trend for insurance brokers and a continuing trend for insurance brokers once the pandemic is behind us.
So how can brokers build a foundation for their success now and into the future?
Just make sure they're digitally enabled. Make sure they've got a core system at the heart of their business that can capture data, can help them assess risk, can help them communicate with end customers. It's been an emerging trend for quite a while. It's just writ large now, post-pandemic.
Andy Fairchild from Applied Systems, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.